Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. How are you? You're fine? That's good. I welcome you in my class, that is English for grade 1. We are going to start Unit 7. Its title is Play. My dear fellow teachers, this lesson plan, PowerPoint presentation and worksheet links are given. You may click it, download it, follow it as it is or modify it for your convenience. I'm going to deliver my lecture according to this lesson plan. Yes, my dear students, today under the title of grammar, we are going to learn about singular and plural. Before this in English for grade C, you have already studied about singular and plural. I hope you remember. If not, you may watch this video lecture, and in your unit 2, my beloved country, I have already taught you about singular and plural naming words. Remember? I hope yes. If not, you may watch this video lecture again. Today, we are going to learn further to recognize and change the number of simple naming words by adding or removing S. This is our today's SLO. Let's start with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah mentions in Quran Surah An-Nahl verse 69, then eat from all the fruits and follow the ways of your Lord laid down for you. Yes, my dear students, what this beautiful verse is telling us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to us, eat from all the fruits. And when you are eating whatever Allah has created for you to eat, what is the next step? You should follow Allah's ways. What Allah wanted us to do, we should do. Whatever we do, it should be according to commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It should be according to sunnah of our beloved Prophet Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right? And now, my dear children, look at these words. Fruits. Because there are many, Allah has created, we cannot even count all the fruits. So there are many fruits. So it is more than one, and it is many. And ways is also, now I have taught you any naming word which refers to more than one, what it is called. Do you remember? Okay, then tell to your teacher. First tell what are naming words and what are the singular naming words. Pause the video, answer these questions to your teacher, and then come back. Yes, my dear students, I hope you remember that everything around us which we can feel, hold, see, or touch has a name, and that is called naming word. And this naming word may refer to a person, place, or thing, right? And when this naming word refers to one person, it is called, or it is called singular naming word for person. And if it is more than one, it is called plural naming word for a person, okay? Likewise, when a naming word refers to one place, it means a singular naming word. And when it refers to more than one places, it is called plural naming word, right? And when it refers to one thing, it is singular naming word. And if it refers to more than one, it is called plural naming word, right? So beta, this is how we find out either it's singular and plural. And then when we speak or write, there are few rules we apply while changing number from singular to plural or plural to singular, right? These rules we have already learned, and we are going to revise. So first thing, look at this picture. It's one. So it is singular, right? Singular naming word, and that is boy. Either you look at the picture or you look at the word, this is a singular naming word because it is referring to one person, right? Now, If there are more than one, what it is called? Yes, good, it's plural. And what is the plural in writing? Now we can look from picture, it's plural, but when we are writing, one is boy, and if they are more than one, they are boys. And how do we do it? We add s at the end of the naming word. This is naming word boy, it refers to singular, and if they are plural, we write boys by adding s at the end of the naming word. Remember, we have learned it, okay? The other example is, look at this object, what it is? It's a chair, and because it's one, that's why it's a singular naming word. But if there are more than one, they are plural. And how do we write it? First we write the naming word, and at the end of the naming word we add s. Chair, singular, because it is one, and chairs, plural, because they are more than one. You got it? This is what we have already learned. Now the next step is, how many boys are there? There are two, more than one. What does it mean? They are plural, okay? And how do we write it? Boys. Now if I ask you, write it's a singular, means one. One is singular. How will convert this plural naming word into singular? What do? We remove this s. This s should not be there. So it becomes singular. Boys, plural, and boy, singular. So what is the rule? The s which is coming at the end of this plural naming word, we remove it for singular naming word, right? So boys, plural, and boy, singular, right? Okay, let's learn it with the next example. Once again, more than one, plural, and what is the object? What is the naming word? Chairs. Now if there is one, it is singular. And how do we write it? We don't write this s at the end of singular naming word. So chairs is plural. This s is showing it's more than one. When we are writing plural naming word, we'll write chairs. And if it is one, we will not write this s, and it becomes a singular naming word, that's chair. You got it? Good job. So let's practice it through an activity. Are you ready for that? All right. What we are going to do? Your teacher will divide class into pairs, and each pair should start with a deck of cards. Teacher will give you a pile, a deck of cards, and every card should have a naming word. It can be a written form or a picture form. It depends upon your teacher. One student flips a card up, says the naming word, and also tells either it's a singular or plural naming word. So one child will take a card, find the name, and tell it's a singular or plural, and the other student in the pair will change number of the naming word. If it is singular, the other student will make it plural, and if it is already plural, the other student will make it singular. Okay, so pause the video, enjoy this activity, and then come back. Yes, my dear children, are you done with it? Good job. Now all of you settle down on your seats, because we are going to practice it from your book. It's written here, singular and plural. What you are going to do? Write plural of the underlined words in your notebook. So there are words, there are naming words which are already underlined. You will write these naming words in your notebook, and then you will write the plural as well, right? So pause the video, complete this exercise, and then come back. Yes, my dear students, are you done with it? Good job. So it's time for your homework. You will write 10 naming words and make their plurals by adding simply s at the end of these naming words, right? And here is a worksheet. My dear fellow teachers, this worksheet, lesson plan, PowerPoint presentation links are given. You may click it download it and kindly provide a printed worksheet to students for practice. And my dear children, what you are going to do, you will circle singular naming words and underline plural naming words. Okay, so there is a mix blend of naming words. You will find out if it is singular, you will circle it, and if it is plural, you will underline it, right? So what we have learned today, we learned the grammar concept of number of simple naming words, and we learned how to recognize the number of simple naming words. We learned by adding s, singular naming word is converted into plural. And we also learned that by removing s, a plural naming word is converted into singular. So in this way, we have achieved our SLO to recognize and change the number of simple naming words by adding or removing s. Are we done with it? Yes. So that's it for today. Tomorrow I'll come again with a very interesting lesson. Till that time, keep learning and take very good care of yourself. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.